it's Donna Joy, actually coming to you from absolutely stunning Perth today. So today I want to talk to you about frameworks and how important they are to have within your business. So before I knew what my frameworks were, I was confused exactly about what I was offering my clients, which meant that they were confused about what I was offering my client. And that made my whole business confusing. Okay, I had all this stuff, all this mind drama going on, and until I was able to create my framework around that, once I created my framework, then all that noise just died away, and all of a sudden it was all simplified process, and I knew exactly what I had to do to build out my business online. So what exactly is a framework? Well, a framework is what is going to get your client the result that they are after. So all business is really about getting your client or your customer a result. So no matter what you're selling, whether you're e-commerce, whether you're a coach, whether you're selling a product or a service, it's always about getting someone a result, your customer or your client a result. And a framework is how you're going to get them that result. So for example, some frameworks might be 6 ways to get better sleep, or 4 ways to lose 10 kilos in a week. Okay. So for instance, the first one, the framework for 6 ways to get better sleep might be 1, don't eat 4 hours before going to bed. 2, make sure you're well hydrated during the day. 3, don't watch any blue light devices for 3 hours before you're going to bed. And if you do, wear special glasses. 4, have a warm, caffeine-free, sleepy tea before you go to bed. 5, have a warm shower before you go to bed. And 6, go to bed early. So you can see how I've created a framework there for how people can get a better night's sleep. Now, often your product is contained within that framework. Sometimes your product or your service is the framework in entirety. So for example, if we look back at the framework I just created for you, your product might be the glasses that are allowing people to look at screens for 3 hours before they go to bed and not be affected by the melanin in their brain, not by the blue light, okay? Or your product might be the tea that they're going to drink before their bed, or your product might be a course on how to stay well hydrated. So you can see how you've created a framework there, but there are different products that could fit into that. Now, your framework could also be the entire product, which is what I'll show you at the end I've got with mine. So what are the advantages of creating a framework within your business? Well, 1, it gives your clients absolute clarity and certainty on how you help them. If you can say, I'm going to help you do this by doing this, blah, 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 then they know exactly how you're going to help them. There's no confusion involved, and they go, yep, this is the guy I want to work with, or this is the person I want to work with. 2, it gives you absolute clarity on how you're going to help your client. So as I said, before I actually worked out my framework, I was confused. My message to the market was confused. I had all this mind drama, all this fluff going on. But all I had to do was take 5 minutes to sit down and actually work out what my framework was, and then all of that just dissolved. Okay? So 3, your framework actually allows you to flesh out a congruent value ladder for you. So once you have that framework, it can be as small or as complex as you want it to be. Complex isn't the right word. As fleshed out as you want it to be. So for instance, the beginning of your value ladder might be a cheat sheet, just giving them the framework like what I just said. Then the next step in the value ladder might be a book, giving them more information on each step in the framework. Then you might step up to a done with you product or service, or like group coaching, and then you might step up to one-on-one coaching or a done for you service. Now all built around this same framework, so it's congruent, all getting the client to the same destination to solve the same problem they have. So 4, your framework will be broken down into smaller frameworks. Okay, so for instance, each piece of the framework will then have frameworks within it, structures within it. So that gives you plenty of stuff to talk about, plenty of stuff to create content around for your social media. So it's going to make it easier for you to talk about things that are relevant to what your service is. You're not going to have to sit down and be scratching your head every day and ending up talking about stuff that actually isn't going to bring the right people to you, isn't attracting the right market to you. So rules for your framework. So 1, you must know exactly what your dream client's pain and frustration is before you start to work out what your framework is. Number 2, your framework must solve that problem and frustration in a way that makes it necessary for your avatar to use your product or service. So 3, it must show your potential client the logical steps that they need to take to solve their problem, pain, or frustration, so that they can see how each step is building and building to the end where they're like, oh, my problem or pain is gone. And that's really an offer. If you hear me talking about how you create an offer, your framework can also be your offer, right? Because we're breaking down exactly what they need to do to get to what they want to be, and then we're bridging the gap between where they are now and where they want to be, and then all of a sudden they can see how easy it is to get to where they want to go, whereas before they were stuck and struggling. So you must give your framework a proprietary name. So you must name your framework and make it your own. So how can you go about creating a framework for your own business? Well, firstly, you need to sit down and write down what your dream clients' pain and frustration is that would make them want to work with you. Okay, so what is their desired destination from this pain and frustration? So what's the pain and frustration? Where are they now? Where do they want to be? Okay, so it's not just enough to know their pain and frustration. You want to know what their desired outcome is. If they're not going to be in pain and frustration, where do they want to be instead? So 2, write down your current customer's journey that you take people through, and make sure that you are getting to them to that destination. Make sure that you're actually giving them what they want and not just solving a pain and a frustration. So 3, work out if your product or your service is a part of a larger framework that you're going to talk about, or if it is the framework. Then 4, break the process down into steps. Okay, so what are the steps that the client takes to get the desired result? And then 5, give it a name and make it your own. And that's my framework for creating a framework. Okay. Now, let me give you an example of my framework for my business. So my framework's name is, so this is my big framework for my business. And within this framework, I have many small frameworks. So my big framework is the client generating machine. Okay. So I help coaches and entrepreneurs and therapists develop the mindset and the self-belief and the online marketing and sales processes to get to 6 figures beyond. And my framework for doing that is 1, creating the necessary social proof. 2, generating leads. 3, engaging their audience. 4, moving to sales. And then 5, holding their vibrational energy and their belief and their mindset high while they are continuously doing these. So it's like they're actually around, they go around and around and around. Okay, so that is my client generating machine. So each of those steps breaks down into smaller frameworks that I teach, I create courses around, and I teach to my clients to help them put the foundation together, so they have their foundation for their organic and for their paid marketing strategy. So once they've got that in place, then they can start to scale. Now, if you would like help with this, with creating your framework and doing everything else that I was just talking about that I help people with, I'm currently taking one-to-one coaching clients on at the same price that I would be offering group coaching. So if that sounds good to you, jump on my calendar, donnajoyusher.com/deep-dive, and let's have a conversation to see if working together is a fit, to see if I can help you within your business to create your frameworks and to create your business and your foundational marketing, your mindset and your belief, so that you can start creating a predictable and scalable income within your online business, so that you can get to the dream life that you want and the desired outcome that you want. Okay, I hope that my talk on frameworks has helped you get some clarity around your business, that you can break your business down to the skeletal framework that it needs to be, so that you can start having confidence in your processes. And I will see you very, very soon